I want them to have a good life. Okay, now, the case that we're familiar with, it could be, you gotta take scenarios. Is it this, or is it that? Okay. Everybody said, we don't know what it is, and there's nothing wrong, Is it that he's afraid of dying, and they didn't do that, Well, we don't know. When I get a call from California and I come here, I don't know whether it's that so-called sickness, heart trouble, or whatever you're supposed to have. Hell, I don't know whether that's true or not. Then I don't know whether it's true or not. Because I can't see somebody healthy as they can be. One day and the next day they puffed all up with, they're in the hospital, tubes and them. I don't know whether that's real or not. I'm going to treat it like it was, it's just like that. That ain't the way it is. The white man can screw you up. He can make you play a role. Can you imagine? It's possible. If you're sitting there and the white man makes you play a role of stupidity, hey man, that can affect you. And people are not machines. People are not machines. If you live around a nigga and you study them in detail, and the white man keep telling you this, and you say, it ain't right what we're doing to that person. That's possible. And if you do it with enough people, it's likely. If you do it with enough people, it moves beyond possible. So it's likely that if people keep if the system is telling, if it's only a nigga and a job and paying a light bill and a gas bill, and then you keep seeing and hearing and knowing, this is not only possible, but it's absolutely likely that out of all of them numbers, somebody gonna flip. And if they don't flip, it could have a psychological, you know what I mean? If you can't find nothing, you start looking for possibilities. I'm saying that's a possibility. It's a very good possibility. When you add it all up, it's the strongest possibility. Why? Because of history. If somebody white is out in Oakland and they call and they said, that's a good husband for so-and-so wife, right? And they come out and their lifestyle is a certain way. For instance, suppose the parents of the white woman are rich. And they go by some old truck or something was parked out there for 5 years. Remember that truck? Truck cost $15,000. Wasn't worth no more than $3,000, right? $3,000 maximum. Probably not that much, but I mean, $15,000. You want to turn the white parents against the Negro? You go have them spend $15,000 on something that they never use. Never used. All of that stuff add up. It's like 1,000. It's 1,000. I can only tell you 5 of the things out of 500. That begins to make a history, and it looks like something. It looks like something. Pretty soon, it not only looked like something, but hell, dear friends, that's the way it is. And pretty soon you can tell exactly what it is. When they have family members and they're not trained well, and they're sitting here in Cookpa and they know, mine. You bet not hurt. They're looking at it sitting right there. You bet not hurt my dad. You bet not hurt that's not my dad. Excuse me, Mom. You better not do nothing, because they're not trained. They're not well trained enough, and they're sitting right there. And they're looking at you, or even the other night, they come in, you shake your hand like that. Shake your hand like that. Because they just, you're making them, you know, and you done told everybody, I know what the hell I'm talking about. We used to call one of the guys a few years Ramadan, Ibn Klum. Ibn Klum is the son of a clown. Klum, this sounds like habit. It is a joke. But, see, we have a long way we're going. Personally, I feel like we're going all the way. I feel like during our time, we're going all the way. If what we've talked about in the last years, and nobody knows that that's the biggest possible reality, technically they don't have good sense. Technically. Anybody that's heard what we've been saying all this time, and then has time to sit there and watch it. And they watch it, and they get a chance to add it up, A, B, C, and draw a line. And everything comes out every damn time. Those people are not very smart if they don't make the right moves. They're not too smart. I'm not going to say they're dumb. But if you get so much evidence and you don't act properly, you have people say, damn, brother, shoot, man. I mean, like, what? It don't add up, or what? You really want to ask people, what is wrong? So if the guys come in here supposed to be acting up, I don't, that stuff is not acting up. They're working in congruency with other people here. That's all it is. It's just what it is. Just simple. There ain't no, you have to think about it. You say, hey man, you try to help people, you say, hey, that ain't important. That don't mean nothing. There's no sense in, maybe 40 years ago, 35. But now, that don't mean nothing. You come in here talking about Saudi Arabia is nice. Hey, I'm not going to argue with you about Saudi Arabia. I would be a fool. I would be just like the people calling in talking about breatharianism is a good way to go. We should try that. Well, you dumb so-and-so, you try breatharianism. You sit there for about a week and just breathe in. Pretty soon, first of all, after a week, all the liquid gonna be gone out of your body. You're gonna die. Maybe 8 days. You may, if you got enough liquid in you, maybe 9 days. Take the salt tablets and everything, get your water built up. But if you just sit there breathing, you're gonna die, right? I mean, boy, the white man is like that. The white man, well, all I can speak on is experience. But I know one blessing I've always had, I've never been afraid of the white man. I just never have been. And out of all the other tough niggas in jail, they would beat up other little Negroes, and I just wouldn't do it. I would make fun of the white man. That's why they sent me to the hole. I didn't know why you sent me to the hole. I didn't do nothing. I just made fun of y'all. It's because you disrespect our authority. Well, disrespect your authority. Now is to move from disrespecting your authority to stupidity. If you don't clean up the water, you're stupid. If you have this hurricane in a fire down in Australia? The hell, they had it in the car fire. Remember last hurricane with it? They done forgot that long. Last year, they had the fire in California. It's a hurricane within the fire. Can you imagine? What that fire is going to consume is just spinning, it's consuming. That's why the fires now, they look like an atomic bomb. Done flatten the place because they got the hurricanes within the doggone fire. And the rest of the place is parched to death or is drowning to death. Parts of Africa the landscape is changing. And the other places it was desert, they got 6 feet of water sometimes. People hanging on trees, you know, in Africa they have a flood. Over here they run upstairs, and there they just get on a tree. Everybody trying to get on the tree, and they got one tree in the area, and shoot, they're tearing that down. But, okay, here's the thing. Dear believers, this is 2020. What I'm trying to say is, some of the stuff we did before, we're not doing in this because people either have to respect what we're doing or pretend to respect it. Because where we are, we didn't get here. This is not accidental. It ain't no accident. It's as real as it could be. Okay. If people have heard 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 lectures and they haven't picked it up, sooner or later, we have to get to the point to where they are who they are and they are who they are. This is my tribal makeup, and it's trying to do right. Can't find nothing what we're trying to do. There's no plan to do anything wrong. There's no plan to do anything wrong. Nobody has ever heard about it. Nobody knows it. The white man, on the other hand, has no plan to do right on anything. Right? Tell the truth. He don't have no plan to do right, nor nobody in place. And if you wanted to do right, you couldn't do it. Because the Congress won't allow you to do right. Right? That too, you can't. That's why the communists in China now can do some good if they want to, because they got a communist party. But in America, they have their system. And now, it won't allow you. You cannot. They got these 4 women that want to come in Congress and want to do, they play. They might be their people. I don't know, it don't make no difference. But they can't do no right. They can't. The system won't allow them to do right. Or you get a little bit of right. Like the Civil Rights Movement, they passed a few laws, Johnson and the Voting Rights Act. But hell, they have people down in Georgia mess up the voting rolls, say niggas can't vote, this, that. That's just last year, this last election. Yeah. And then everything that we supposedly won during those days, that's long gone. That's long gone. It's just gone. They cannot, suppose you're dealing with a system that refuses. It's like asking the shaitan, shaitan, would you do something right? You'll say, yeah, hell, if you box me in and like the prophet, peace be upon him, did, and make me submit. But y'all ain't gonna make me submit. Hell, because if I run a girl by you, you're gonna run after her. If I throw some money out there, you're going to go get it. If I shake 30 pieces of silver or just a green flag in your face, you're going after it. That's what the shaitan is saying. I'm going to hit them from the front, from the back, on the sides. I'm going to hit them boys, and you ain't going to find none of them grateful. That's what the shaitan is saying. After he asks for parole and probation for a little while, right? He comes out with it. Allah already knows. But remember, shaitan is there to help you. That's what he did. I only made men and jinn to serve me. You buckle your life down where I'm here to knock over shaitan. I mean, I ain't gonna listen to nothing. Waswasa, if he, you know the criteria for, I told you, I told somebody else too, I'm pretty sure. We have a criteria for if the white man has screwed up my brain somewhere. Ethics. If I think of anything that's unethical and start to implement it, finish. I'm backing up. I said, because now the white man is telling me something that's wrong, and that's my criteria. That's the protection. I don't have to have much more protection than that. If anything pops into my mind that's unethical, right? Unethical with the Quran, unethical with the Sunnah, unethical or out of step with his history, and unethical for us. Why you think I let a nigga bust me upside the head? Is that a part of our culture? Absolutely not. But it's coming from the shaitan. They done made a nigga stupid. And he come to you with wrote on an agent provocateur. You know, if it's 10 steps, and I'm gonna move toward a close. If it's 10 steps to getting this thing done, our greatest leader was put down as step number 2. Step number 2. Our greatest leader wouldn't put up with none of this. None of it. You think I'm lying? He wouldn't put up with none of it. So he's got 20 years in jail. A friend of mine. I like him. Every time we get to move toward $1 million or whatever we need, we think to get him out. You know, the feds asked me something the other week. No, it was 4 months or 6 months ago, 8 months ago. We could, anything you want. I think if I have time before I go back to California, I might say, hey, y'all think y'all could let homeboy out? So I ain't gonna do nothing to help you, but I won't do nothing to hurt you. Just let him out, it won't hurt nobody. Hell, he's been in 20 years, and he's got ready to die. He ain't gonna do, he wouldn't even feel like doing anything, right? If he's been double-crossed 3 times in a row, the first time in the black days, going over there, and nobody sent him any money. He was already bitter at the Negro then, years ago. And then finally this time, with all the Negroes, he told me out of his own mouth, man, everybody down there saying As-Salamu Alaikum, that's nice. He said, they ain't not with me. That's in 83. They not with me. So it just added into what I already knew. I said, that's the way the game is going. So we might as well plan within that scheme. How you gonna be surrounded 24 hours a day and get something done? Well, I helped us. Hey, tell the truth. Now look what we have here. Masjid, some property, nobody else. With all of this stuff, no, not all of this. This is 2% of it. Just take my word. What I said here today is 2% maximum. What is it that if this is 2% maximum, right? And we continue to carry on, no matter what happens, right? That means that's a special gift. It's a special gift. That's a gift from Allah. Now mix that in with 1% of Negroology playing with the white man, making a fool out of it. You know, we made a fool out of the white man. And the Negroes that don't know that, they're fools too. Yes, they are. You have to get, they are fools. Anybody that can see everything that's going on in this period of time and don't act properly is just a damn fool. And in the next few months, I'm going to start treating them like damn fools. Yeah, because they're damn fools. And I'm just giving them a warning. That, look, some people just wasn't born with certain things. Some people were not born with, I would sure like to play a big, meaningful role in history. Right? But you don't have to be born like that. Once you learn it's possible, then you say, hell, that didn't already happen. If they've survived this thing, and it's with optimism, it's with humor, and it's with kindness, right? Can't beat that. I say, study the white man. Find him, not the people running around the street, but boss man. Find one of them that's got a good plan to do good. I want to do good. I love everybody. Try that. Anyway, I'm going to close with this. Is that we're not going to let the system use our base areas against the movement. Not this masjid, not the other there, not the property. I said it before. Psychologically and everything else, we've already moved past this stuff. We've moved past it. We're going to do this because we're going to build stuff over there. We're going to we're going to recuperate everything in Oakland, and we're going to charge them for it. $65 million. If they don't, forget them. We just go on a worldwide tour. We've been threatening to go on a worldwide tour for 13 years. We haven't, because it wasn't the time. But we have enough friends. We have enough notoriety. If we stay on the road, we go for 1 month to South Africa. Then we go for 1 month. We ask the FBI to straighten up England for us. We got the story to tell them, the just right story. We ain't going there and tell them you're dumb Indians. You wouldn't listen to a nigga. You wouldn't listen to Dr. Hakeem Siddiqui. And you wouldn't listen to history. All over Africa, they had the Indian in the middle. You wouldn't pay attention to Uganda, where Idi Amin put all the Indians out. And all